Today we get to study Torah for the sake of heaven, the sake of Israel, and all of Jerusalem. We'd like to give the merit of our study and the merit of our Torah to Stephen King, Avraham Ben Moshe Gilla, Ed Stribling, Linda Flora, Carl Lucerio, Kadu Lovejoy, Raymond Rosentrader, Brooke Gibson, Paul Navarez, Garrett Mattlage, Patients in Texas Oncology, Rita Wilson, H.L. and Betty Munkusky, Yeshaya Peak, Maria Wanstaff, Elise Hagar, Nadine Freeman, Logan Willis, Billy Holt, Charles David, Rosa Hollander, Christopher Bedurka, Noel Cardoza, David Douglas, Vicki McLean, Tom and Karen Maitland, Sandra Hayes, Carol Tickle, Larry Laneberg, Juliet Navarro, Blake Highland, Leela Briscoe, Sam Peak, Yehuda Ben Matai James London, David Jenkins, Jake Suarez, Bobby Williams Sr., George Brock, the Rogers family, Carol Gibson, Damian Washington, Carol Scott, Ty Harrington, Maurice Greenwood, Gracie Bell Linder, Vicki McLean, Malcolm Wilham, Amanda Elliott, Frank Pollard, Carol's family, Baby Denard, Kimberly Brown, Debbie January, Kim Lively, Crespin Rodriguez.
Well, that Wiley Webbit.
Yep. Sandra Hurth, Virgil Williams, Brad Mace, Gustavo De Leon, Jerry Mattlage, Dylan Tickle, Amber Merchant, Simcha Ben Abraham, daughter of Jeremy Adams, Alexander, son of Jamie Justice, Catherine Graham Walsh, Francisco Adesi, Kathy Johns, John Michael Christopher Ramos, and Miriam's dad. There used to be this baseball player, I'm sure he's still playing, but his name was Wandy, W-A-N-D-Y, which when you see it, it sounds like Wandy. But his last name was Rodriguez. Can you imagine those announcers saying Wandy Rodriguez and saying it really fast? And here comes Wendy Rodriguez. I used to just die laughing every time I watched him pitch. He used to pitch for the Astros. I don't know where he's pitching now. Ruler of the universe and master of all masters, Father of mercy and forgiveness, we thank you, our God and the God of our fathers, by bowing down and kneeling, that you brought us closer to your Torah and your holy work, and you enable us to take part in the secrets of your holy Torah. How worthy are we that you grant us with such a big favor? That is the reason we plead before you, that you will forgive and acquit all of our sins, that they should not bring separation between you and us. And may it be your will before you, our God and the God of our fathers, that you will awaken and prepare our hearts to love and revere you, and may listen to our utterances, and open our closed heart to the hidden study of your Torah. And may our study be pleasant before your place of honor, as an aroma of sweet incense. And may you emanate to us light from the source of our soul to all of our being. And may the sparks of your holy servants, through which you revealed your wisdom to the world, shine. May their merit and the merit of their fathers and the merit of their Torah and holiness support us, so we shall not stumble through our study. And by their merit enlighten our eyes and our learning, as stated by King David, the sweet singer of Israel. Open my eyes so that I will see wonders from your Torah, because from his mouth God gives wisdom and understanding. May the utterance of my mouth and the thoughts of my heart find favor before you, God, my strength and my Redeemer. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Okay, today I want to touch just a little bit on the Torah itself. I was going through the Zohar and looking at some stuff. Then we're going to touch a little bit on Caleb and Joshua, a little bit on the Parsha, just for a second, because there were some things we're seeing in the iteration from this board over here. Remember this board over here that we did? So I'm going to try to lay that on that to a degree, and then of course we're going to go into the Song of Songs. Okay, so how much do people need to observe the worship of the Holy One, blessed be He? How much need there is to inquire into the matters of the Torah? For it is as if everyone that studies Torah brings all the offerings in the world to the Holy One, blessed be He. Not only that, but the Holy One, blessed be He, also wipes away all of his iniquities and prepares many thrones for him in the world to come. I think that's important. And he said to him, why do we need to toil in the ways of your master and the edicts of your master? Ask about that which you have permission to know and gaze at, and about that which you have no permission to know. It is written, do not let your mouth cause your flesh to sin. Since we have no right to inquire about the ways of the Holy One, blessed be He, and His mysteries, the utmost high secrets, that He has covered and hid. And he said to him, if so, the entire Torah is concealed and hidden. Since it is the most holy name, whoever studies the Torah, as if he delves into the holy name. If so, we are not permitted to acquire gaze even at the Torah. And he said to him, the entire Torah is both concealed and revealed. The name of the Holy One is both concealed and revealed. It was written, the secret belongs to Hashem our Elohim, but those things which are revealed belong to us and to our children. But those things which are revealed belong to us, meaning that we have permission to inquire and observe and gaze at them and to know them. However, the secret belongs to Hashem our Elohim. They are His, and to Him they are proper. Since who could know and comprehend His concealed mind, let alone ask about it? Come and see. People are not permitted to talk about concealed matters and explain them. Besides the holy luminary, Rabbi Shimon. That's why we're getting to read it. Since the Holy One, blessed be He, acceded to Him. Since the generation is distinguished above and below, the matters are therefore through Him openly. There will be no other generation like the generation that He resides in until the coming of Messiah. So what is it saying? It's saying that all the concealed matters that we're getting to delve in, the reason we're getting to delve in them is that we are in the age of the coming of the Mashiach. Yes. In this week's Parsha, the spies were told to go up by the way of the south. We know the south is Hesed, right? Guvarot is north.
Right.
Go up by the way of the south. What does this mean? It means to strive in the Torah. And you will then recognize it stands a good and it stands in good stead for you. And they ascended to the Negev and came to Hebron. And they ascended to the Negev means that people elevate themselves within her. This is the Torah. Into the Negev means with a lazy heart, as one whose effort is dry and meaningless, because he believes that there is no recompense in that. He sees that he is lost in the world's riches due to her, and thinks that everything is lost. This is into the Negev. The face of the ground was dry. Negev. Now, when Caleb sees these giants, these Nephilim, and he had went to Hebron. Why did he go to Hebron? Because it says the Hebron is the Torah. It's likened to the Torah. Hebron is also likened to the Shekhinah. Hebron is the Malchut over there. Hebron is the tomb of the cave of Machpelah, where all three patriarchs are buried, and their wives, and Adam and Hava. And so this is where he's going to get his garment. He knows he's fixing to go battle the Nephilim, or at least go to the other side. That's where they were sent. And in a minute I'll kind of go through some of this stuff. So following that, he came to Hebron, meaning he had come to adhere to the Torah. And he reads it and he studies it, where Ammon, Shia, and Talmah. This is the these are the three columns of the backside. These are the three Nephilim. Meaning that he saw the divisions. The unclean versus the clean. The front side and the back side. The forbidden versus the permitted. The punishment versus the recompense. These are the paths of Torah. The specifics of Torah. Hebron is the Torah. Which part of the Torah? It's the oral Torah. Because it comes out of Malchut, which is feminine. And the written Torah is Zah. Say to wisdom, she is my sister. Therefore, it is referred to as Bathsheba. And who did David marry? Bathsheba. Who is Bathsheba? The daughter of the seven. Who is the daughter of the seven? The oral Torah. All is one. It's all the same thing. Now Hebron was built 7 years. These are the 70 facets of the Torah. Or 70 faces of the Torah. The Torah contains 70 aspects, which are the secret of Zeranpin. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And each one has 10 sefirot in it. Those are the 70 faces of the Torah. This is specific to the oral Torah. All right? Those who are not in faith and do not study Torah for its own sake cause the faith, which is Malchut, to be separated from Zeranpin. Since they cause a flaw in the union of Zeranpin and the Malchut, which are the written Torah and the oral Torah. They do not accept the belief that they are one essence and one source.
Who doesn't accept the belief?
People who are do not study Torah for the sake of Torah, for the sake of heaven. Okay? They're studying it for their sake of self alone. They cause a blemish in the union of Zah and Nuk. It's a big deal. Okay? As it is written, and this is what was happening with the sin of the spies, and they carried it between two on a pole, which means they caused division in the written and oral Torah, and considered them, heaven forbid, as two. They're not two. They're only two when they're separated. Oh, this is the written and oh, this is the oral. No, they're in union. It's talking about rebelling against Hashem. However, only rebel not against Hashem. It is necessary not to rebel against the Torah, since Torah neither requires wealth, nor utensils, nor silver and gold. And I wanted to read silver and gold because that's where we're going today. We will make you ornaments of gold studded with silver. Shir HaShirim. Okay? So, this is a prequel. Nor fear the people of the land. For if a broken body will engage to study Torah, it will find a remedy in everything. This is what is written. It shall be a health to your navel, and marrow to your bones, and health to all your flesh. You should not fear the people of the land, for they are bread for us. The prosecutors themselves prepare food daily for those who study Torah. As it says, I have commanded the ravens to feed you there. So even when you study Torah, because you're studying Torah, the other side, God commands the other side to feed you from that side. Just as he did the ravens for Elijah. They fed Elijah. And it's further written, the ravens brought him bread and meat. Although the ravens are unclean birds from the other side, they were still feeding him. Hashem is with us. Fear them not. All their power was voided as a result of the Torah. Praise is the lot of those who deal and study Torah for its own sake, because they really get connected to the Holy One. All right. So, what does Caleb do? Caleb has a different spirit according to Torah. All right. They send 12 spies. Why didn't they just send 10? You know, we have 10 Shirot. Why'd they send 12?
Tribes.
Well, they have 12 tribes. Okay? But why do they have 12 tribes? Well, because Levi's not really a tribe. Really. They are, but they're really not. All right? Because 12 is always indicating a recon peen. That's the 12 loaves of showbread. 12 plus the Koel 13 is the beer. Okay? 12 is always a reek. So that lets you know what you're dealing with. 9 is Zah. 9 is always Zah. Dealing with the 9 attributes of his spirit. Okay? So, Caleb is from the tribe of Judah. Alright? But since Levites don't have a tribe, they send Joshua. Right? He's their Metatron, so to speak. So God gives when back if we go back to Sarah and Abraham, God removed the Yud off of Sarah's name and gave her a Hey, Sarah. So he takes that Yud, Moses takes that Yud and gives it to Joshua and changes his name. This Yud protects Joshua. But Caleb, he's out there, he didn't have any protection. So what's his protection? He goes to Hebron. What is Hebron? Hebron is the Torah. Hebron is the Shekhinah. Hebron is the Torah. Hebron is the cave of Machpelah, where the patriarchs are. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob all feed into Malchut, where he's going to get all this Shefa. This is the 70, because he has a different spirit. What is that spirit? The Torah says he is the Gilgul soul of none other than Eleazar.
Oh.
Who is Eleazar? Nothing more than Og. He's Og. Now,
Okay. Go to work.
the gematria, let's add David to the call. Add to this group. There you go. Okay, put it on mute back there, Dave.
Alright.
Okay, so we know a few things here. Hey Dave, you're gonna have to mute it, buddy. 248. 248 is the gematria of Abraham. But it's also, 248 is also the entire Pharaonic structure, which is Adam. There's 248 positive commandments. Right? Judah is Adam. He's the 248. Not that his gematria is 248, but he's representing 248. Caleb. The gematria of Caleb's name is 72. Hey, Russell, I got a 72 over here.
Man, yeah, you wearing me out.
72. Just zoom it back, because I'm all over.
Yeah, you're all over.
Okay? Well, Caleb is 72. Guess what Joshua is? 63. So what's going on here? This is Ab and Sog looking into the worlds. Al-Qudim, Nekudim, Berudim. What do they see? The three backside of the pillars, these three big Nephilim. Why is Caleb not scared at all? He's Og. They are from the root of him. He's not worried about them one bit. Eleazar he's the oscillating Noga. If he oscillates on this side, it's Og, it's bad. If he oscillates on this side, it's Eleazar, it's good. Alright? So, we know that the Noga oscillates. Abraham had three buddies. Ashkol, and Ner, and Mamre. Remember those guys? Mm-hmm. Okay? Those are the three columns. Well, guess what? The Nephilim that I'll give you the names in a minute. That are listed, that they see these big giants, these are is the backside of those three columns. And Caleb's like, it's no big deal. Because Eleazar would say the same thing. It's no big deal. Because the formula works like this. If you have 248, which is the positive commandments in the Torah, which is the bones and connections and sinews of Adam, which is Abraham, in the formula, light overlapping, and the 70, which is 70 and 72 is the same thing, which is Caleb, which is none other than Eleazar. That's 318. 318 is the number that destroys the five heavy klipas, the five kings. And it can destroy the backside three columns. So Caleb goes, it ain't nothing but grasshoppers, man. It's nothing. Right? Now, there's a whole bit different study on the grasshoppers. If you want to know what that is, watch the portion. So, 3 times 72, because he's seeing three columns, but he's 72. He's the 72 name. Is 216. When you add the Ger, the fourth house, that's the other 70, which is the other 72. That equals 288. What is 288? 288 is our Rapach. So these are the three columns of the shattering of the vessels. This is what Moses is sending them to work on. All right? Caleb and Joshua come back and say, we got this. Why? Because they get it. They know. But the 10 don't. So, if you take the 10 Sphirot out, which are the heads of the other tribes, that's like taking 248 out. See? Because they're a part Suf. They're a part Suf of a Recon Pin. That's the 12. If you took the 248 out completely, if you have 288, which is the Rapach, minus 248, which is the 10 that got taken out, you're left with 40. And the Torah says they were there for 40 days. And so God says, since you did that, since the vessel shattered again on the 9th of Av, since you did that, you will be 40 years in the desert, 1 year for each day. So we see how the same overlapping light of Abraham and his Ger is happening again right here in the story of the spies. And the story of the spies is so important because the story of the golden calf happened, the Erev Ron, the backside people did that, you see? But this is done by the heads of the tribes, which was none other than all of Joseph's brothers. When they came to Egypt, he goes, "Oh, you come to me as spies." He foresaw that their souls would Gilgal into these 10, and it cost them their tribes. And so now it's Judah and the Levitical priesthood. That's it. King David and the priests, kings and priests. That's it. People are looking for the lost tribes of Israel. You ain't going to find them. There ain't such thing. It's just this. It's the dance of Hasidim and Guvarot with the Noga on it. This is the Ger of Caleb. All right? And so, we made this deal, I don't know, quite a while ago when we studied this in Abraham. Now, the weapon, the spear of Pinchas, guess what the gematria of that thing is? 248. You see? The story goes on in Pinchas. It keeps going on. So, one of the things that we try to do is follow the formulations. Because if we think we're something else other than an iteration, we've missed it. We have to see where are we in this iteration. So one of the things, and that we're going to talk about at the conference, is what are we going to do when we go to Israel? All right. Well, we already said 6 months ago what we wanted to do, and it was this very thing. We have to go to Hebron because that's what has to be done. Not only that, that's the whole secret of the head of Esau, the whole thing. And so it will not only trigger it, it will garment us with the same protection Caleb had. Because this is what it's going to do. This is what it's always done. It's done this since Abraham. It's done this since never not. We're not coming up with anything different than it doesn't already do. That make clear as mud sense? Mm-hmm. Come and see that Eleazar, the servant of Abraham, was from the children of Canaan, as it is written. As for the merchant in Hebrew Canaan, the balances of deceit are in his hands. Hosea 12:8. About Canaan it is written, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be to his brethren. Bereshit 9:25. Because Eleazar was a faithful messenger, it is written about him, Come in, you blessed of Hashem. Bereshit 24:31. Really blessed of Hashem. Therefore it is written in the Torah, since he has emerged from the curse of Cain and became blessed. He was not only excluded from the curse, he was also blessed in the name of the Holy One, blessed be he. I learned that an angel came and inserted this in the mouth of Laban, so it would be so. So, I kind of wanted to follow what's going on in the here's the Nephilim's names. Anakim, Rephaim, and that's all I got. But what was the sin? What was the sin that they did? The slanderous language of the spies. It was the same thing. It was the sin of the serpent. was the sin of the serpent. We can't do that. They told untruths. It was untrue what they were saying. We're fine right here. What does it mean? I've taught this before. If you have the mentality that God does not need you, that He does not need your help, He's God, He's going to do it anyway, what the heck use is it? That is the sin of the spies. That's called slanderous speech. You're saying God didn't know what He was doing when He created you. You see? And so, this is what the Nakash told Hava. Who says you're going to do that? You know? What? You know? This was sin of Cain. Cain thought, I'm going to do it up here because God doesn't need people doing it. This was Cain's big sin. All right? So, all it is a warning to us to know that it's always the serpent that you're having to deal with in this doubt, in this, oh, God's big enough, He don't need my help. No, He absolutely does need your help. So what does Moses give Joshua and Caleb? He gives them a staff. And so when they get there, they're holding the staff of Moses. Well, it's got all the names on it. What is that? That's the holy Nakash. What were they seeing? The unholy Nakash. They saw the backside and said, yeah, we can thump this backside, no big deal. They saw the backside and said, oh man, it's fine. You know, let them have their land over there. We got our land over here. It's hunky-dory. Let's not do that. Because what did Moses say? Go see if there's a tree. What? The tree of life. They had time. He wanted to see if there was duality, a bifurcation, or singularity. Basically, Caleb and Joshua said it's singularity. They went back and said, "Oh no, it's bifurcated. It's the whole deal." So that's a little deal on Caleb and Joshua and the aspect of the Garrett. And I wanted to go to that because now that we know a little bit more about what's going on with Ger and Og especially, the world was created for the sake of Israel so they could study Torah, since one is uniting with the other one, meaning Zah and Malchut. Now, let's hit some of this. This is Song of Songs. I'm just warning you, it's tough. I'm going to try to make it easy. I put Kasha questions up here today about gold and stuff like that, and because in this part the Ramdu gets into alchemy, into making precious metals and all these different things, and basically every precious metal comes from gold. All right? And every precious stone comes from a ruby. Now, you'd think diamonds and emeralds and all these different things, but its root is a ruby. And all metals, be it lead, aluminum, iron, doesn't matter. Its root is all gold. And so the Kasha question was tough about gold. Gold is what attracts the most din because it's Guva Road, right? So you got the golden calf, but you also have the golden menorah, the golden ark, and God told the Jews to take all the gold from Egypt and wear it. So why is gold sometimes really, really bad, and why is sometimes gold really, really good? And then Moses made them look at a copper serpent. What does that have to do with any? Why are they always using metals? And why is it not talked about at all? Solomon had more gold than anybody ever. And I also put the kasha question in there to the fact, why when the stock market's crashing, everybody wants to invest in gold? Everybody runs to gold, 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 gold. You know? And but then it's nobody knows why gold is so precious. Everybody wants a gold ring, a gold chain, a gold this, a gold that. What does gold have to do with anything? We're gonna learn today.
What was that river? They said that river and the gold in that Havla or something, and the gold in the land was good.
Yeah, the gold in the land was good. We're gonna get to that today. This is where Solomon sent his ships over there to go to Ephrat or something like that. Anyway, where they had the best gold. But what Solomon knew we're going to find is the only way to make gold is to have gold. And so if he had one piece of gold, he could turn anything that was a metal into gold, because there's a way to do it. Now, it's a deep secret in Kabbalah and the sages. It's the same thing as like making a golem, you know. So the sages are never worried about gold, because if they ever need any money, they could make it. They could, you know. If you have a piece, if you have a piece of iron, you just turn it into gold. Then you got it. Here's a gold bar. Because what we're going to find is where the root of gold is the secret. And when it gets inverted, then it's able to be contaminated. So, let's start and read from the beginning here, and then we'll get to where we are. Song of Songs, which is to Solomon. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for your love is better than wine. Your anointing oils are fragrant. Your name is oil poured out, therefore maidens love you. Draw me after you, and we will run. The king has brought me into his chambers. We will be glad and rejoice in you. We will praise your love more than wine. Rightly they love you. I am black but comely, O daughters of Jerusalem, like the tents of Kedar, like the curtains of Solomon. Gaze upon me, for I am dark. Gaze not upon me, for I am dark, because the sun has scorched me. My mother's children were angry with me. They have made me the keeper of the vineyards. But my own vineyard I have not kept. Tell me, O my soul, where do you pasture your flock, and where do you make rest at noon? For why should I be like the one who veils himself by the flocks of your companions? If you know not, O most beautiful among women, go your way forth by the footsteps of the flock, the pastures of your kids beside the shepherd's tent. I compare you, O my love, to a mare of the chariots of Pharaoh. And that's where we're at. Alright? So, today we will go over, your cheeks are comely with the rows of jewels, your neck with strings of beads. We will make you ornaments of gold with silver. That while the king was reclining at his table, my nard sent forth its fragrance. And we'll go ahead and read the next one. My beloved is to me a bundle of myrrh that lies between my breast. Okay, so what in the world's going on here? Your cheeks are beautiful, he's telling her. Comely, your cheeks are beautiful with rows of jewels. What are these precious ornaments of the all-inclusive bride? They are, he's calling this the Kala. The Malchut that will contain everything, because the ornaments on the cheeks are the same word as Tor, as in Kol HaTor. What comes out of your cheeks? What comes out of my cheeks? What's coming out of my cheeks?
Breath, air.
Yeah. What am I doing?
Speaking.
Speaking what?
4 words.
Like the
Torah. Which part?
oral.
The oral Torah. He's saying you're so beautiful because out of your cheeks are adorned with jewels. They are the oral Torah. It comes out of your cheeks because in Torah in the Peshat, it has 5 meanings. One, it can be a period of time. One, it's a turtle dove. One, it's an ornament. One, it can mean an ox in Aramaic. And number 5, it can mean a form, like in the capacity of. So, what you see in Torah is they'll say, Tor Mashiach ben Joseph, Tor Mashiach ben David, in the capacity of. So they'll say the Gaon of Vilna was a Messiah ben Joseph. The Rebbe was a Messiah ben David. But it's Tor. It's in the capacity of. It's not that he is. He's carrying the capacity of the light that's overlapping. All right? But what happens is, oh, he's the Messiah. Oh, he's the Messiah. Oh, he's the Messiah.
You sound like Jordan now.
Then you lose it. As soon as you name it, the other side takes it. You can't name or number anything, right? You know that, and we need to be careful with. I get Gare. We don't want to establish something too profound so that the other side knows what we're doing. Now,
we ain't got to worry about that.
yeah, we don't have to worry about that. So it can mean to circulate or jewelry. What is this? These are the lights that are coming out of her cheeks and the necklace that are around her neck. All right, Russell, get on the camera. The lights. You see up here? We're all the way back to Adam Kadmon. See the word Yosher and Agulim? The straight light, the lights that are coming out of your cheeks, and Agulim. And your neck with strings of beads. Straight light, curved light. See the light that's coming out and the light that's around your neck. Leviathan, Metatron, Messiah ben Joseph, Messiah ben David. Written Torah, oral Torah. These are her jewels. All the way back from the very first day of his Tashlut. The Yosher is your written Torah, and your Agulim is your oral Torah. These adorn your cheeks. They are the jewels of your mouth. She is rectified from above and decked out with all of them. On the Peshat, this is alluding to the jewels that they left with in Egypt. Okay? Same thing. The bride is adorning herself with these jewelry. See, as long as... this will help you understand the whole thing. Gold is from Atzilut. Okay? When gold falls into Atzilut, it's on the left side. But when it's in Atzilut, it's on the right side. So it's Hesed. But not here, it's Gevurot. Okay? And this is how it works. Watch me closely. Sphirot of Gevurot, right here. Right? This is gold. This is silver. Teferet in the middle is copper. So the copper serpent was balance. Right? It had to have balance. It had fallen to the left, to the side of Gevurot. So he made it balanced. Now, if you look at the Sphirot, you're only ever seeing it from the back side. This is right and this is left. So this is so Gevurot is on the left side, which is gold.
And this is from Malhut's perspective.
This is from our perspective. Berea, Yetzirah, Asiya. Okay? But how does Adam Kadmon look at it from? What side's gold on now? This is my right hand. You see? So, because Israel, the Shekinah, the Ark, the Menorah are not from this earth, they're from Atzilut, they can be gold. No klipa can attach to it. It's from Mattlage. But if you take gold from here, you got the golden calf. This is why this is what Moses knows. Moses goes, look, they got this gold. They made him take all the. He knew they were going to build the golden calf. So what does he do? He makes them go on the backside of the mountain. Why does he make them go on the backside of the mountain? Because that's where the contamination was. So he knew that.
So the building of the calf was on the backside of the mountain?
Yeah. He didn't want him to bring that contamination to the front side of the mountain. He knew exactly what he was doing. They're going to build a golden calf, and they're going to take all of our gold, so put them over there. Let them get contaminated, and it'll kill them. And then what I've got to do is I've got to grind it up, and I'm going to have to make them drink it with water, which is hesed, to put it inside them, because the children of Israel are Mattlage. The Erev, the people, did the golden calf, and it cured the Israelis, the Hebrews, and it killed them.
All of them?
The ones that did it. All right? This is what Giannis and Yambres knew. Giannis and Yambres knew the secret of gold and its root. They knew if they took it and used the power of this guvarot, that it may flip.
Remind me, please, who Giannis and...
They were the sorcerers of Egypt that went out.
Yeah.
And this is why Aaron's sons had to die. Nadav and Abihu.
Nadav what?
Nadav and Abihu. They're the front side. Giannis and Yambres are the back side. All it is the dance of Hasidim and Guvarot. Okay, kind of getting off topic there, but it's still good Torah. All right. So he is saying that these are losing to the jewels you left with in Egypt, this gold, because you are beautiful. This word here used for beautiful, nava, comely, is 63. That's kind of why I wanted to go through the Joshua deal. It's the same story. We're seeing the same iteration. Look, the revelation of light, the secret of the revelation of light is to understand the concealment of light. When you start seeing every story in Torah is the same story with different players and how it works, that is the revelation of the concealed light of the Torah. And so as soon as we figure out that we're part of that iteration and we follow the map, that's how you complete tikkun for your life, for whatever you're doing. You don't know the Torah, you're just going through life, you're just sending spies. Oh, he don't need me. Y'all go ahead and do that. It don't work like that. So, what is he talking about? This word navah is comely. It's in the plural because he's talking about her cheeks. Plural. He's talking about not only the Nukva, but Rachel, but also Leah, because now Malchut is ascended to Bina. Ima Ila'ah, and the mother adorns her daughter on her wedding day with crowns, with jewels. These are the circlets. These are the necklaces. The strings of beads. This is the wreath. And the wreath around your neck. Remember the wreath around your neck from last week? Torah Zahah. Here the word Torah is not used as the same meaning in verse 10. Verse 11. It means the lines of gold, the nekudot, the points of silver. So all of a sudden, now it's silver. Why? He has just moved from here to here. Uh-oh, now it's silver. Just like I showed you. Looking at it from here, this side, looking at it from this side. Okay? The Ramdu says it's drawing down in great abundance. The two crowns. The two crowns are the dance of Huv, the crown of Hasidim and the crown of Guvarot. According to this Torim are the straight lights and then we had the curved lights. Now the word taurine here will be used, you can write this down, your neck with strings of beads. That word strings there is taurine. And we will make you ornaments. Ornaments is also taurine of gold and silver.
How do you spell that?
T-O-R-I.
T-O-R-I-M. Mm-hmm. So, the kasha was, there are these lights that circulate on the face, which are the straight lights of Hasidim in verse 10. And now, we have this other that are the ornaments, which brings up our who problem, because gold was, now we're saying gold is Hasidim. But now silver is Hasidim, right? What's going on? What's going on is what I explained. Depends on not what you're looking at, where you're looking from. Okay? In the future, all the lights will come from Atzilut 4D. Well, I wonder who does that. We will make you. So far, we will run Nefesh Nelva Hagerim, right? We will praise your love, Nefesh Nelva Hagerim. Rightly they love you, Nefesh Nelva Hagerim. The 22 letters of in you, which is the pure language of Nefesh Nelva Hagerim. So I wonder who we will make you ornaments. Nefesh Nelva Hagerim. It's the same guys they're talking about here. This is the realm of gold. And what you're going to find next week's Parsha, Korach, this is what Korach's problem was. Korach was gold. He said gold was more valuable. But we ain't getting into that till next week. But in the future redemption, it will be mixed with light. It will be mixed with the light of Berea Yetzir Nasiah, which will be silver because it will flip. And so it's like a big ball of gold with little silver sparkles all over it. That's his final tikkun. Understand with wisdom and be wise with understanding. All will be mitigated, Guvarot. Because Hokmah dwells in Atzilut, and Bina in Bia, Berea Yetzirah. The supernal union that is never separated. What is he telling, what is Zah telling Nook? Or Abba telling Eman? It never happened. All you're doing is seeing what happens of the what ifs. Because once it's all back in, it will be as if it never happened. But Zah and Nook, see, Zah and Nook are in this whole deal too, and they're going, well, but from our perspective, gold is Guvarot, and they're going, no, gold is, from our perspective, you're inverted. You're flipped to you're right, you're left, and your left is your right. You're up as you're down, and you're down as you're up. All right, but it's trying to get itself back in, and what they're saying is, you were never out to begin with. You're only seeing it that way. This is the sin of the spies. You're only seeing it that way. It's not that way. The supernal union that is never separated. Therefore, the majority of the consciousness of the future redemption will be in the secrets of the Torah, and more precious, because these secrets in the Torah are more precious than gold. They will have to be mixed with a little silver in order that they will teach from them women, converts, and servants. Not everyone can understand the secrets of the Torah, and not everyone must be taught on their level of, and everyone must be taught on their level of understanding. In the Messianic era, all the levels will still exist in order to teach those that are on that level. But the pashat of that level is greater than the sod that we know now. So, in the Messianic, when Messiah's here, everybody's still going to have to learn Torah. Everybody's going to have to learn Torah on whatever level they're on. But even if you know no Torah, the Peshat of the Messiah's Torah will be so much greater than the Sod of any of the Torah we teach today that it's going to be so much more elevated. So you can imagine just where the Torah is headed. So, the word will make for you. This is the Ger. This is the world of Berea Yetzirah Sia, spoken by God, as in the words of creation. Let us make man in our image and our likeness. This is we will make. This is the same type of language. So the Torim here, with our strings and our ornaments, is written in the oral Torah. And this is also considered the we. We will make you these ornaments. This is the same as the Torot. This is this golden calf versus this is the whole deal I taught you on the golden calf versus the golden ark. The Ramdu says alchemy, regarding alchemy. This is the transformation of the substance of gold. Likewise, the aim is to heal all, to transform all metals into gold. Now, what he's saying is, pure gold from Atzilut cures every single disease. Okay? Pure gold from Atzilut cures every single disease. This is why Moses had them drink the gold. And gold from Atzilut can transform all metals into gold. The logic behind this, all metals are in an incomplete state. The natural state of all metal is gold. By using alcohol, you can, and some names of God, you can turn any metal into gold. The same thing is like yeast in dough. Remember this thing you used to have called friendship bread? You make a little friendship bread, and then I give you some of that dough, and all you got to do is go home and put some flour and water in it, and it makes you a whole loaf of bread. But unless you have the original recipe on the dough, you can't make it. So God's metals are like friendship dough. If it doesn't come from Atzilut, you can't make it. All right? This is what Solomon knew. By doing this, metallurgy, this alchemy, this is the secret of inverting and turning all levels and all worlds into dimensions that descend below to return them to Atzilut, which is gold. This process will happen. The Ramdu plainly says, in doing this, it will accelerate the tikkun process. What is this process, you may ask? The secret of the matter is this. The teaching of the Kabbalah is the secret of gold from Atzilut. You will not do it with silver, only gold. Only through the oral Torah, the Kabbalah, the one that teaches Atzilut. The secret of that gold is a liquid state, drinkable. Drinkable gold has the ability to heal every disease. This is the Atzilut. He says these are high matters. Those that know Havayah will understand. The same for crystal and ruby. All are from the philosopher's stone.
Did you say crystal and ruby?
Crystal, same thing for crystal and the ruby. Gold and silver. You know, everything is from the ruby. You can turn a crystal or whatever, or a diamond, and everything goes back to ruby. The sages say, I love you, Torah, more than gold. And I love you, Torah, more than gold and silver. Solomon knows this. And produced it all. Here it is, Russell. He sent the ships to Ophir. Ophir, to the river where all the good gold is. The gold of that land is very good. This is the same word they used in Genesis, where it was tov and the light was very good. Messiah ben Joseph is considered gold.
Messiah ben Joseph?
Yes. But when it is inverted into Messiah ben David, it is called good gold. This is Atzilut. This is the goal of all alchemy. To make external gold into internal gold. This is the secret of the Kabbalah. It's an internal process. You're changing yourself into Atzilut. You're turning yourself inside out. You do the hokey pokey and turn yourself inside out. That's what it's all about.
Well, I can see a meeting coming up now.
All right. So Tavuna, the aspect of Tavuna would be the exterior gold, and the aspect of Bina would be the interior gold. So when Tavuna and Israel Saba are back in union, it's back in, and it goes from exterior gold to Klipa to interior gold.
So what was exterior gold?
Tavuna.
Okay.
Tavuna. When this happens, the world of Berea, Yetzirah, and Asiya are silver. And then it causes it to be in the center. So, if Hesed is silver, and silver is male, and gold is female, but in Berea, Yetzirah, and Asiya go back inside, and the silver is on the inside. What do we have?
Gold.
Yesod with a crown of gold. While the king was reclining at his table. Reclining is zivug. His table is always the nukva. Alright? And literally, the word here that they use is not only the Shekhinah or this table, but it's called a party. It's a big party. The kasha question is this. Make sure I didn't miss nothing. The kasha question is this. Why is there no mention of alchemy in the Torah? You can't find it anywhere. Nobody talks about it. And the Kabbalah is the alchemy. You know, the sages, those guys, you know, they sit there, they could turn lead into gold, turn iron into gold, anything they wanted. Make a golem, you know, they didn't worry about anything. You know? So, you know, they had protection, they had money, I mean, but nobody talks about it. No, it's like you don't even go there.
That's a secret.
Chaim Vital studied alchemy for years. And the Arizal chastised him about it. And he says, you have lost 2 years of your Torah. But after the Ari died, Chaim Vital, 2 years after the Ari died, Chaim Vital wrote a book on alchemy. An entire book on alchemy. It's part of Mashiach ben Joseph. It's one of the sciences. This is where we get modern chemistry from. Why is there no mention of it in Torah? Y'all ready for this? Because it is the elixir of life. What does that sound like? Huh?
Medicine of life.
It's the medicine of life. It's the elixir or the medicine of life. What's the opposite of medicine?
Poison.
Poison. What do we know about poison?
No, the serpent, the nakash, you know.
The nakash, the serpent. The serpent is poison
He poisons minds.
because there's two nakashes. One is the unholy nakash, the fallen nakash, that is the poison of God. The other one is the elixir of God. Samael, right? The name of the demon of the other side, of the nakash. Samic Mem. Sam. What do we know about Samic Mem in this class? Samic Mem. Sandalphon? Metatron. The inversion of Samic Mem is Metatron and Sandalphon. That's the elixir of God that everyone will drink. The inversion of the golden calf. Because the entire Torah is alchemy. Alchemy is the secret of going from this side to this side, from the front side to the back side, from below to above, from in to out, from the Ein Sof to the edge of the Ein Sof, pulling it back to himself. The entire Torah is alchemy. That's why it's not talked about. It's supposed to be known. The inversion from Ayin to Aleph, from the 70 to the 1. We talk about inversion here all the time. Invert it. What does it look like this way? Noah's name this way. Grace name this way. What does it look like this way? Why is it gold here and why is now gold here? Because the entire Torah is one big alchemy book. That's why nobody discusses it. He hid it. God hid the elixir of life, the gold, which is the Torah, and the Kabbalah of the oral Torah right in front of your face. Where do you hide something where nobody will find it? Right in front of the face. By doing this Torah, oral Torah, written Torah, by doing this alchemy, by doing this pure gold, this is the union of the male and the female. This is the chemistry between them. What do people say? Oh, well, I hope they have a good chemistry together. I hope their chemistry's good. You know? Why? Why do you say that? Because it's true. If you don't have a if your spouse or your mate doesn't like the way you smell your pheromones, you're not going to make it. You know? You just have to like the way the other person's chemical makeup is. Because the entire Torah is alchemy.
That's what Teresa used to complain about how I smell when I come home. I tell her that's what money smells.
That's what money smells like. She goes, no, that's what. Get in that shower. That's what money smells like. I bought some soap. That's what money smells like. So what does the switch? We got to go from gold Hoover Road to gold Hesed. It's not what you're looking at. It is where you're looking from. Quit looking at his back and start looking at his front. Don't look at the golden calf. Look at the ark. The king is reclining at his table. Maseba, which is this word they use for table. It means a party or a gathering. Reclining is the zivug, or the union. The Shekhinah wants to make it known that she wants the king. I mean, she's talking all the pretty Torah words. Because she has nothing of her own. While in union, she gets this, says, my nard sent forth its fragrance. What is nard? Nard is teferet. They got their mohim back. They got their teferet, the heart, the brain, the whole thing. That's why the beard goes down to the heart. Okay? Because his heart belongs to her. Teferet belongs to her. She has her man. Her nard, the nard. Nard is one of the spices in the 11 ingredients of the incense. The one that makes it sweet. Or it's called a spikenard. What is this? What is this sent forth its fragrance? While the king was in union with me, I took hold of his nard, of his teferet, and it gave forth its fragrance and its power. And now he can be glorified and beautified in all of his aspects and names. So they aren't lamenting in the future. She's not lamenting about it in the future. What is she doing? She is enticing him. When you are in union with me, all is good, all is complete. Without her union, she can't have any of his lights. And she is referring to herself as the table. In other words, she's saying, why are you leaving? The exile is what she is seeing, as if he has left. This is the aspect of Zah and Nook, the aspect of the Vav and the Hay that are down, that is out of the Yud and the Hay. The Yud and the Hay are still up. So what's going on here is they're going back and forth with the dance of Hasidim and Guvaro. What she's seeing is what it would look like if he left her. And what he's saying is, I never left. So as Eve or Hava is going through the eating, all of this 6,000 years is playing out. And it's like the worst dream of all. But it's reality for us. But what he's saying is, it never happened. I never left. Wake up, I never left. Because they're in union. They're in union. And she's saying, but don't leave, but don't leave. And he's like, I'm not going anywhere. This gets good. She can't have any of her lights, and she is referring to herself as a table. In other words, why are you leaving? The exile is what she is seeing, as if he has left. The reclining at the table is the same words used when? On the Seder night. On the Seder night, the words recline at the table are used. See, Passover is only an iteration of what she's seen. And he's like, I'm right there. Because what are you doing at the Seder night? You're eating. What is eating? Union. Knowing. He has no reclining of freedom the night of the Seder. When he is not with his dove, when she is separated, she is in Katnut and in darkness. Is this not the story of Egypt? Not only is she in Katnut and darkness, he can't be in Gadlut or expansion either. And his names are not complete. So he is not complete. Only the final hay is complete and the zivug with him. When he is sitting on the throne of his kingdom, which is her. So what he's saying here is this. She's saying don't go. He's saying I haven't gone anywhere. But then he looks at it and goes, oh my goodness, now I see. But now my names aren't complete. Now I'm not anything. So she wants him and he needs her. This is the whole secret of why the sin of the spies was so bad. Because as soon as you think God doesn't need you, then his names can't be complete. He can't sit on his throne. He doesn't have his kingdom. Because what is a king? You can't be king without a kingdom. You see. So now they're both going back and forth. He's saying one thing, she's saying another. Even when she is in exile, and the Teferet, the nard, is not with her, giving off its fragrance. However, he says, his yesod is never absent of her. Therefore, she says the next verse, a bundle of myrrh is my lover between my breasts. So, what he's saying is, even though you may not have the upper level, the heart, the yesod is always present. What are these called? There's 36 of them inside.
Tzaddikim.
These are the tzaddikim. He's saying you are never alone because my tzaddikim are always with you. What does that mean? That means she is always in union with the Holy One. At least 72 tzaddikim. All right? If it wasn't for that, it would all implode on itself. All right? And so this is the what she's going to call the myrrh. The myrrh is his hasidim that he gives her from his tzaddikim. And the Torah is amazing, and the sages are amazing, and we'll see you next week, and we'll finish Song of Songs.